Okay, sit yourself onto your left and come into a good cross-legged position. Just try not to fall over. Make sure that you're feeling evenly positioned on the seat bones, and have a little bit of levelness. Just feel that there is some levelness. Okay, you should be able to hear me now. Just have a little wriggle about, make sure that you feel level, and hold onto the knees, lift up onto the chest, hold onto your knees, lift up into your chest, and then draw your shoulders down away from your ears. Look down at the floor, look at something that isn't moving. Focus on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. Focusing on the sound of the breath. After sitting for a little while, just observe whether you are genuinely sitting on a level base. So see if you need to maybe adjust. Just feel the body from the seat bones, from the buttock flesh, just observe your balance. As you inhale, observe how the chest rises upwards and outwards. And then release your knees, bring your hands into Namaste. With an exhalation, allow your eyes to gently close, maintaining the observation of your breath. With an exhalation, draw your chin down to meet your chest. Just spend a moment to seek to generate a genuine, heartfelt sense of gratitude for something or someone or somewhere. Hold on to that feeling of abundance in the heart area, and then release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. spend a moment to acknowledge that sensation of quietness. Bring the tips of the index finger together with the tip of the thumb. Palm facing upwards, stretching the other fingers away from the palms of the hands. Just a conscious gesture of wisdom, of physical intelligence, and of peacefulness that we can carry into our practice. And then gently raise your head and allow your eyes to softly open. Hold onto your knees, lift up into your chest, elevate the heart area to the ceiling. Take a deep inhalation, and with an exhalation, draw your chin down to meet your chest. Drawing the shoulders down away from your ears. So if lifting your chin all the way up to the ceiling makes you feel in any way uncomfortable, then just bring the head just to the level where it feels okay with the next move. Let's take a deep inhalation. With the exhalation, raise the chin up to the ceiling, but without aggravating any conditions. I know for some people that makes you feel a little nauseous or creates difficulty for breathing. Just look forwards rather than up if that's the case. With an exhalation, bring the chin down to meet the chest. Take a deep inhalation, and with the exhalation, raise the chin up again, but not so much that it aggravates a condition that causes difficulty in breathing or makes you feel sick. And then with an exhalation, come back. Take a deep inhalation in through the nose if you can. And with an exhalation, bring the right ear over towards the right shoulder, but keeping the shoulders down. You should feel a stretch on the left side of the neck. Take an inhalation. With the following exhalation, come back to the center and over to the left. Just really stretching out your neck. Take a deep inhalation, and with the exhalation, come over to the side and over to the right. With an exhalation, come back to the center and over to the left. So keeping the neck long at all times. And then come back to the center. Hold onto your knees, lift up into the chest. Elevate your heart area to the ceiling, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Take a deep inhalation, and then turn to the right side, keeping your chin in line with your collarbone, so turning from the abdomen and the ribs and the shoulders, not the neck. Observe how the body responds to the pose, how the body perhaps resists or eases into it, using exhalations to intensify the turn, and then come back to the center. Take a deep inhalation, and with the following exhalation, turn to the left. Again, keeping the head still, but moving from the shoulders and the ribs and the abdomen. and then gently come back to the center. Just stay in cross legs for a moment, just observing your balance. The balance on the seat bones, trying to draw your attention into the physical body. Draw your attention into the seat bones and observe how they feel in terms of levelness. Does one feel heavier than the other? Just draw your attention into the physical body. Draw your attention into the feet. So when you really observe the feet, you can use the skin as an eye. You can feel which part of the foot connects to the floor. So maybe the foot that's at the front of the cross, it's maybe the top of the foot that makes contact with the ground. With the foot that's closest to the body, then maybe it's the outside edge of the foot that connects to the ground. So we allow every pore of the skin to become an eye. So we feel through the skin. Just take a deep inhalation and then just one more time turn to the right side. And again, feel through the skin. Feel how your balance changes. Adjust the position of the torso between the two hips if it does. Come back to the center. Just go back to the feeling in the seat bones. And then again, turn to the left. Observing what changes, if anything. And then come back to the center. Just come off your lift. Just sit back on your heels. So just rest into the shins. Feel the shins in contact with the mat. Observe where the shin skin makes the most contact with the mat. Observe where your contact is lighter. So we kind of intellectually know, perhaps, that the shins are on the floor, but can you feel them on the floor? Can you press the shin bone into the shin skin? So that action perhaps gives you more contact with the mat. It also helps you to activate the thighs. When you activate the thighs, then you can activate the spine, elevating up to the ceiling, drawing your shoulders down. Come forwards, maintaining that connection between the seat bones and the heels. As you come forwards, observe what happens in the shins, how they change. Can you maintain that connection with the shins? Just wriggle into your hips a little as you come forwards, keeping the seat bones down if you possibly can. If you can't, then use a folded blanket between the seat bones and the heels, or have a block underneath your head if bringing the head down brings the heels away from the seat bones, or vice versa. So stretch into the arms. Feel the shins in connection with the ground. Keep pushing the shin bone into the shin skin. It feels different, doesn't it? That action when you come forwards. So just acknowledge that difference. Feel the mat underneath the palms of the hands.
Feel the skin of your arms as the air touches it. So every pore of the skin becomes an eye, looking inwards, potentially looking outwards, but definitely looking inwards. Come up onto your fingertips, lift your head, and then walk your hands over to the right side. Be on fingertips and extend deeply into the arms, especially that left arm. So you get that sensation of extension on the left side of the torso. Try and keep the seat bones down, they'll probably lift, but aim to draw them down. And then walk your hands back to the center. Keep your head lifted, and then walk your hands over to the right side. Keep your arms straight, lengthen deeply into that right side. Try and keep the seat bones down, although they'll probably lift. Keep the head lifted, extending forwards. Breathing even, deep inhalations and exhalations. Feel how that right side of the body lengthens out. And then walk your hands back and then come back into Adho Mukha Virasna. Just feel the difference in the shoulders. Bring the arms out to the shoulder height, so the same line as your shoulders, and then keep your arms straight. Push the hands into the floor like you're trying to gather up the floor, but keep the arms straight. And then walk your hands either sides of the body for the traditional child's pose. So this can bring a lot of weight onto your head, but can you activate into the arms? Can you press the shins consciously into the floor? Push your hands underneath your shoulders into the floor and then sit yourself up. Just observe the energy you've released, especially around the head. A real grounding energy that comes from Adho Mukha Virasana. Just maintain your consciousness of how the shins connect to the floor, and then walk your hands behind you for that paryankasana variation that we do. Have the fingers pointing forwards. Press the hands really consciously into the floor and lift from the wrists up into the armpits, opening up into the shoulders. So from the wrists into the elbows, into the armpits. Press the shins consciously into the floor. Turn the tailbone in. If you've got a bad back, you might want to just stay at this stage. Otherwise, you can lift the seat bones, turning the tailbone in. Keep pressing the hands into the floor. Keep lifting from the wrists into the armpits. Lifting the seat bones up to the ceiling. If there's no problem with stretching your neck out, then lengthen the chin away from the chest. Otherwise, just keep the head looking forwards. And then come back down onto the seat bones, and then sit back on your heels. One more time, come forwards into Adho Mukha Virasana. Spread in the fingers, spread in the palms. Just observe if the pose feels any different this time. Just listening to the breath. Keep your right hand where it is, and then thread your left arm underneath the right armpit
stretch it as far away as you can. Bring the shoulder down onto the floor if you can. Rest your head onto the floor. And then really try and activate that left arm into the ground. Press in firmly into the ground. Keep that right arm, keep that right arm in Adho Mukha Virasana. Try and roll the chest down towards the floor. So you open up in the shoulder blade region, pushing that left arm as firmly into the floor as you can. Focusing that tension on the forearm, pressing it down. And then release and stretch forwards. Again, sitting back on your heels. Adho Mukha Virasana. And then lift your head. Keep your left hand where it is. Thread the right arm underneath. Stretch as far away as you can. And then bring the shoulder down. Bring the head down. Reactivate that left arm. And then press that right arm firmly into the floor. Try and keep the elbow locked. Press into the floor. And then roll the chest down to face the floor. So we're really working to prise open the shoulder blade region. It's really good. Feels really good, doesn't it? Because it's an area that is traditionally difficult to reach into. Okay, and then just one more time, stretch both arms forwards in front of you, coming back into Adho Mukha Virasana. Just listen to the breath. And then push your hands into the floor. And then just sit yourself up. Just observe the energy that you have released so far. So you might have noticed we're taking our time in the limbering poses. But sometimes we just go through them and we don't observe how they feel. So it's good to spend a little time here. Come up onto your knees. If you're doing dandasana, then sit directly onto the mat. If you're not doing dog down, stretch your legs away and extend the spine up to the ceiling. Otherwise, have your hands as wide apart as your mat. Have your feet as wide apart as your mat. And then come up into dog down. Just observe from the feet and the hands upwards. So feel initially whether there is even balance on the feet and the hands and on the left and the right. Just aim for attentive balance, whether you're in dandasana or whether you're in dog down. So if you find an imbalance, if it's more left-sided than right-sided, then go to the legs and then observe how you're lifting them. Activate them, tighten the kneecaps. Press the fronts of the thighs through to the backs of the thighs. Turn the fronts of the thighs inwards. Listen to the breath. Keep your hands where they are, keep your feet where they are, swing the hips forwards for dog up. Draw the crease of the elbows to face the front. Bend the fingertips, extend into the heels, lengthen into the chest. Elevate the heart area up to the ceiling, keep the legs away from the floor, keep the kneecaps tightened. Turn the tailbone in, broaden the abdomen. Lift from the abdomen to the diaphragm, to the collarbone, to the chin. And then from there, come back up into dog down. Or you can rest back down in Adho Mukha Virasana or dandasana. Breathing into the side ribs, into the sides of the abdomen. And then just come down onto your knees, just sit back on your heels for a moment, and again observe the energy that you have released. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. So we're going to do Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana in a moment. So if you're not doing Adho Mukha Svanasana, you can do supta baddha konasana. So lay on your back with your feet together, your knees apart, rather than doing this inversion. So supta baddha konasana, or come back up into dog down, but this time have your feet hip width apart, have your hands hip width apart. Okay, so just stretch out your heels, stretch out the calves, bringing the heels down to the floor. In supta baddha konasana, hit the feet consciously together. So stretching out the calves, but then observe, if you bring your heels down, what happens with the rest of the legs. Do you lose the action of the kneecaps? Are there creases at the fronts of the thighs? So chances are they are. So lift your heels until those creases disappear. And then tilt the tailbones up to the ceiling. Bring the feet together in the middle of your mat. Keep your hands where they are, but bring the feet together. Spread your toes of the left foot and then raise up the right leg. Keep the front of the thigh turning inwards like you're doing tadasana. Keep the toes pointing down to the floor so that the hips stay level. So raising that leg up, and then see if you can bring the standing leg heel down. That's quite strong, isn't it? So just go as far as is comfortable without overdoing it. Keeping the hips level, keeping that lifted leg doing tadasana stretch. Okay, bring that heel down, just reset. In the middle, have the feet together. Spread the toes of the right foot and then lift that left leg up to the ceiling. So it's going to want to do this, isn't it? It's going to want to turn outwards. So rotate the front of the thigh inwards so that the hips come level. Keep the head lifted, and then with that standing leg, see if you can bring the heel a bit closer to the floor. Easier said than done. Don't overdo it. Okay, release, and then come down. Just bring the feet hip width apart, and then just stretch into Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then step your feet forward and then come up into a standing position. Get a couple of blocks for your hands. So we're spending time in the limbering poses, aren't we? So effectively, we're just doing an elaborate limbering in sequence, but with your feet as wide apart as the mat, your toes turning in for ardha uttanasana. Just observe your energy. Observe your energy. Observe how the body is feeling. So your feet need to be as wide apart as the mat, with the toes turning inwards. Turn the fronts of the thighs inwards. Push, tighten the kneecaps. Push the inner knees away from each other, and then lift the inner knees up towards the inner groin. Bring your hands onto your hips, lift up into your chest, wing the elbows behind you so that you really squeeze the shoulder blades together. Keep the head lifted. Keep the back straight as you hinge at the hips. Feeling that stretch at the backs of the legs, and then reach down. Just find the blocks, have the blocks underneath your shoulders. So spend a few moments just establishing yourself in the pose. Let your weight hit forward so that your weight comes into your toes, so that the heels lift. So can you lift your heels off the floor and then try and pick up the seat bones, lift the seat bones a little higher, even if you have to bend your elbows to access those seat bones. Keep the seat bones as high as they are. Try not to drop them as you hit the shins back. Bring in your heels back down onto the floor, and then hit in your shins back so that your weight consciously goes into your heels. And then project the chin and the chest forwards. Keep lifting the seat bones. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. If you've got a bad back, you might want to stay here. If you don't, then maybe go down another level on the blocks. Maybe you can find the floor, but don't be in a rush to find the floor. Observe with each level whether you change the weight on the feet. Do you, as you come down, bring your weight towards your toes? Can you keep lifting the seat bones? Can you keep pushing the inner knees away from each other, lifting them up towards the ceiling, turning the inner knees towards the back of the room? So it's coming down incrementally. When we work really slowly like this, maybe you observe there's more resistance than you expect. And that's fine, that's good. We're just observing what is in the physical body. Keep in half uttanasana with extension in the spine, rather than drawing the body through the legs. So keep your observation in the feet, hit the shins back, lift the seat bones. So find a level that you feel comfortable at. So if finding the floor, you might be able to find the floor quite easily, but does that make things go wrong in your legs? So if it does, then go up a level, go back to the higher level so that you can go back into the legs. You can regain those legs. And then bring the left block or bring the left hand into the middle of the mat underneath your chest, underneath your neck. And then bring the left hand onto the block or onto the floor. Bring the right hand into the small of the back. Extend deeply into the chest. And then turn the chest to the right side. Try not to disturb the hips. So you've got your hands on your hips, so just try and keep them level. As you turn, aim to maintain the action of the legs evenly. Come back to the center, bring the blocks out to the edges, and then bring the right block underneath the chest and the neck, and then with the left hand bring your hand onto the small of the back. Before you try to turn, consciously extend into the spine. The more extension you get in the spine at this stage, the more you can then turn. So when you're ready, when you've extended, then turn the chest. Breathing even deep inhalations and exhalations. Observing how the feet change as you turn. Observing how the legs change. Try not to let them change. And then come back to the center. Just bring your hands onto the blocks. And then, if you can hook your thumb into the crease of the elbows and wrap the things around your elbows and then hang down. If that is too strong for you, then just stay in half uttanasana. Or you can come down onto your back into supta baddha konasana. Okay, release your hands down to the floor. Bring your hands into your hips. Bend your knees on the way up if you need to. And then come up into standing position. Just be in tadasana. Just observe your energy. Observe how the body feels. Interlock your fingers, turn the palms all the way out, and then extend your arms over your head in asana. And then release. Just swap the interlock of your fingers and turn the palms all the way out, raising your arms over your head. And then gently release, just release the arms. Just stretch your arms down to the sides of the body. Okay, and then just come down onto your back into supta baddha. If you've already been doing supta baddha, then you can sit in virasna with your sit back on your heels, stretching the chest up to the ceiling. Otherwise, just press the heels together. Let the heels really stamp towards each other. Activating the legs like you activate your legs when you press your shins into the floor in Adho Mukha Virasana. Feel that the hips become compacted when you press the heels consciously together. Feel that you can turn the tailbone in. You can draw the abdomen towards the spine. You can broaden the chest. Stretch your arms to the ceiling, interlock the fingers right into the webbing of the hands and turn the palms all the way out, lengthening your arms along the floor. Keep the legs really firmly activated by focusing on the heels. Bring the outside edge of the feet together. Lift the center of the instep around to the inner foot so that you draw the knees down a little closer to the floor. Observe that, however, as you do that, how the hips change. So try to level out that action, even it out. Raise your arms, swap the interlock of your fingers, turn the palms all the way out, and then extend your arms along the floor. So we've just done an extended, maybe slightly more elaborate limbering in sequence. That sequence of limbering poses is a sequence to not just go through to get to the other poses. They're poses in their own sense, they're asanas. And to spend a little time in them, exploring them. That's really valuable because they bring great release and relief. And they could be the only poses that you ever really need. Of course, we've done several variations, but we've explored the different ways that the body responds to the pose. Just let the legs soften, release your arms, rest your hands on your lower ribs. Let the body rest into the floor. Just let the body rest. If at this stage you need blocks underneath your thighs, then put them there. Just let the knees release into the floor. Just observe the energy that you have released through your practice this morning. That sensation of energetic lightness that fills the bones and radiates into the muscles and the organs and into the skin and the flesh. So that there's this concept that every pore of the skin becomes an eye. So an eye looking inwards at the sensations of the pose, and an eye looking outwards to activate the skin. Okay, draw your knees towards each other. Have your knees together and your feet apart. And then draw your knees in towards your chest. Just have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom, just a gentle massage on the spine. And then gently roll over onto your right side and then sit yourself up. Just get a folded blanket for your head. Just come into cross legs for a moment. Just observe your energy and then turn to the right side. And just maintaining the consciousness of the connection to the floor. And then come back to the center. And then go over to the other side. And then gently come back to the center. Just lay yourself down in a really good straight line right down the center of your mat. And then bring the blanket into the back of your neck and into your head. And then let the arms rest, palms facing upwards. Let the legs completely relax into the floor. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. So we work in our poses to explore, to examine, to observe. And through that examination, through that observation, we learn to activate. body just completely release into the ground. Let the muscles relax. Unhook the muscles so that the body becomes heavy, so that you can maintain that consciousness of the energy that radiates from the bones and into the muscles, into the organs. Just providing the energy that they need to perform at their optimal. Just release into the floor. Use your in-breath and your out-breath to distribute that feeling of energetic lightness evenly throughout the body. Using the breath to also bring that energy up into the top of the head. Filling the brain with positive energy. And when you're ready to disturb yourself, just wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, and then bend your knees. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Just have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom, just a gentle massage on the spine. And then when you're ready, just gently roll over onto your right side. And then straighten out the top leg, come back up into the seated position. Just a final cross legs. With your hands in a Namaste, just a final spinal lift. Just bring your hands into Namaste, bring your eyes to a close, draw your breath in through your nose down into the abdomen. And then draw your chin down to meet your chest. Spend a moment to seek to generate a genuine, heartfelt sense of gratitude for something or someone or somewhere. And then very gently release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. And then as you raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. Thank you. So hopefully you feel as though you've still had a really good, deep, intense stretch, but just done those limbering poses, so you should also feel extremely limber after that as well. So thank you very much for